I'll let you into a little secret. There are a few like that, but none of mine. Because just as there can be boring and horrible stories today, there could be boring and horrible stories in the past. And just in the same way there can be funny stories. No, there were funny stories there. People laughed at many of the same things we laugh at today. They cried at the same things we cry at today. They weren't that different to us. And the reason I know that is because it's in stories. So would you like to hear a story or two? Would you? Are you sure? Yeah. Are you sure you're sure? I'm going to make you work for it a bit. If you want my story, you have to answer a riddle. I told this riddle earlier, but I'll tell it again because it's one of my favourites. Because if you think of medieval times, if you think of certain people, perhaps there was an outlaw you might know of. An outlaw who lived in medieval times. Robin Hood. Whenever you hear the name Robin Hood, you should go, hurrah! Hurrah! That was it. The power I have. Robin Hood. Hurrah! A bit too carried away. Was hunting in Sherwood Forest. Robin Hood. Hurrah! Was on his own. His merry men were not with him. Maid Marian was not with him. She was at home doing a washing up. He was all on his own in the woods. But he was not alone in the woods. For also in the woods that day, Sherwood Forest was the bad, the cruel sheriff of Nottingham. He had with him 20 of his best men. They fell upon poor Robin. Robin put up a fair and fine fight. 10 of them fell at the point of his blade, but then the rest fell upon him. They bound him hand and foot. They dragged him to Nottingham Castle. Robin was paraded for everyone to see. Now the sheriff was a cruel and heartless man, but he didn't want everyone to know that he was a cruel and heartless man, so he spoke these words. He said, "If Robin of the Hood dies this day, it shall not be by my hand, but by his own. For behold, I have 2 pieces of paper. On one piece of paper I shall write the word guilty. On the other I shall write the word innocent. I shall fold these pieces of paper, place them in a pouch. If Robin picks the one saying innocent, then he shall go free. But if he picks the one saying guilty, he shall hang by the neck until he is dead." It was blue and R indeed for that cruel sheriff of Nottingham. He had no intention of letting Robin of the Hood go, and so it was. He wrote guilty on one piece of paper. He wrote guilty on the other piece of paper. He folded them both, placed them in the pouch, and said, "Choose, Robin of the Hood." Robin, as well as being brave of heart, sure of shot, strong of arm, fair of face, he was also wise of head. He knew that the sheriff would try and trick him, but what could he do? His feet were bound. He could not run away. He had no pen, no ink, no help. He put his hand into the pouch. He picked one of the pieces of paper saying guilty, yet still he went free that day. The riddle is simply this. How did he do it? If you get the answer right, I should say, you do get a story, but if you get the answer wrong, everyone has to stay behind to help me carry these sheepskins back to Norwich. Are you sure you want to answer?
I'll risk it.
Go on.
He read the piece of paper himself and he lied about it.
Good answer, but the problem was, the sheriff had one of his soldiers behind Robin with a sharp knife. There's no way he could have done that. The sheriff wouldn't have allowed it.
He wanted a piece of paper and then he said, well, see what was on the other one to prove which one I picked up.
Simple as that. Robin put his hand into the pouch. He picked out one of the pieces of paper and he swallowed it. And the sheriff said, "Foolish man, how do we know which one you picked?" "Why, it's easy," said Robin. Just look at the one that's left. And the one that was left said, thus proving that Robin was an innocent man.